Hi, I'm Derek Morgan, co-founder of USASportsScholarship.com and the Game Changer program, and I just want to welcome you to the How to Get a USA Sports Scholarship video series. So you're obviously seeing the first in this video series here, and we're focusing at a high level on the 4 key ingredients that you need to basically build your future wealth and happiness. So, pretty important subject really. So the 4 key ingredients that we're going to focus on, this is really an overview video to set up the rest of the video series. These 4 key skills are going to add value to you or benefit you in anything that you want to apply yourself to, whether it's school, whether it's sports, your career, relationships, basically anything. So these are really principle-based things here. It's not unique to getting a sports scholarship. So the first thing is having a vision or a dream. You really need to look forward and know what it is that you're after. There's a really widely used saying that anything that the mind can conceive and believe that it can achieve. And that's really true. There's too many success stories for that not to be true, okay? So goals and timeframes. Goal setting is something that all of the best athletes use. Vision building and goal setting, okay? Because you're working to timeframes. As an athlete, you know when you've got a peak, you know when you've got your grand final, whether it's a grand final or it's your World Cup or whatever it is that you're driving for. You've got goals, you've got timeframes that you want to achieve those goals in. It's then about having a game plan for execution. So this is really the strategy session around now that you know what you want, you know when you want it, now we need to start working out what we're going to do when in incremental steps. So what are our milestones and our strategy for executing on those milestones? The fourth and arguably the most important is action, because it doesn't matter how good your vision is. If you don't take action, you're not going to hit any goals, you're not going to hit any time frames. Basically, a dream without goals, without time frames, without action is little more than a wish. It's just not going to happen. So we need that action. You need to be persistent and consistent. Okay, so there's really 7 key stages that we're going to go through in this video series. We're going to dig deep into them, and towards the end of this video I'm going to give you some free resources to help you get started and fast track this process for you. So the 7 key stages are preparation. The old saying is preparation prevents piss poor performance, the 5 P's. If you're not prepared, then things come at you, they derail you, you don't pivot well, you trip and stumble if you're not prepared, okay? So we're going to spend a bit of time on preparation, and you want to be prepared before you start to engage with coaches. So academics is key. Academics and sport go hand in hand, okay? So your sports performance dictates what happens, what colleges you can get into, but it needs to be combined with your academics. So when you've got good academics and you're performing at a high level, you've got lots of choices and lots of options, okay? Or you're likely to have more choices and options. If you've got strong academics and your sports performance is not great, you've still got options, but they're going to be different, and expectations might need to be adjusted around game time and those sort of things. So we'll dig into a lot more deeply in that in other videos. Same with your sports. You might be performing at the highest level in your sports, but if your academics aren't there to support your admissions, the schools that you want to get into, you simply may not get in. So you need to focus on both. Contacting coaches, again, it comes back to number 1, preparation. If you're contacting coaches and you're not prepared, you don't have your information right, they can't get a good read on who you are and what you're capable of, then that contact is wasted. And you also make a bad first impression. So you'll understand I'm sort of all about cliches. I'll be throwing cliches at you all the time, but you only get one chance to make a good first impression. So if you're contacting colleges and coaches too early and you're not prepared, expect to get pushback and then the coach has a preconceived idea about you. They go, okay, yeah, I had a look at little Johnny's profile, and he wasn't really good, right? So they might have a preconceived idea that's wrong if you approach them too early and in the wrong way. And communication is key. So once you've contacted the coaches, you've found the right fit, and you start negotiating scholarships, this is more of an art than it is a science, okay? There's not as much flexibility in the negotiations stages as most people might think, and there's definitely some misconceptions in the marketplace around what does a scholarship mean, what is the funding, what is the costs, a lot of misconceptions around full rides and how often they're available and for whom. So we'll clear all of that up when we look at negotiating scholarships. Preparing to leave, there's a whole lot of compliance boxes that you need to tick before you get over there. And the application process, there's a lot in it. There's a lot of moving parts. But when you've got a game plan to run to, a checklist to run to, and we'll give you a high-level checklist to get you started, make sure that you're on the right track, and it's doable. There's just a lot of moving parts you just need to be aware of and make sure you're ticking all the boxes. Okay, arriving in the States, there's also a lot of things that happen when you hit the ground. So we're going to talk about what are the things that you need to be aware of when you're arriving in the US as a student athlete, and the processes that you need to go through. So we'll dig deep into those over the course of this video series. Right now, we'll just take a high-level look at building your vision, building your dream, working out what it is that you want, and establishing why that you want it. And the first thing is to understand what's on offer. Understand what does the daily life of a student athlete look like, and is it likely to be right for you? So that's the first thing, because if leaving home, flying to the other side of the world, and living in a completely new environment is not for you, then that's fine. But it's important for you to sort of discover that early so that you're not making wrong decisions for you. There's no right or wrong decision. There's just the right or wrong decision for you. And it's just about, again, preparation, doing your research, understanding what you're trying to achieve and why, and then you can make informed decisions around what's going to be right for you. And most importantly, understanding why do you want it, because this is going to be the thing that's going to drive you long term, because it's exciting, there's lots of travel, there's lots of fun, there's lots of new adventure, but there's also lots of hard work, potentially a lot of pressure, completely new environments that you need to fit into. So there are going to be some challenges you need to overcome, but hey, that's all part of growing up and growing as a person. So it's all part of the personal development pathway. So first up, let's start looking at building your dreams. This is something you could go away and spend days, weeks, or months doing, and I would suggest that you should spend days or weeks doing it. Go into YouTube. YouTube and Google are going to be your best friends. Go and start to do some searches around the term student athlete. Go and search a day in the life of a student athlete. You'll see whole hosts of videos from different students, different age brackets, different year levels, different sports. You can type in, Harvard student athletes as an example, and get videos from specifically athletes at a particular college. You could type in living at Harvard University or whatever into YouTube or Google, living in a particular state, in a particular city, in a particular town, and there'll be a wealth of detail for you to dig into to understand what's on offer. And what I'd suggest that you do, have a look at a tool called Evernote. Evernote's a free app. With the free app, I think it's 2 devices that you can have the app installed on, and basically you can scrape things from the internet, save documents, type in notes, meta tag or tag different resources, so that when you're doing your research, you can have all this information going into Evernote, but it's all organized, easily referenced, easily researched. You can take notes on it, draw on it, highlight things. it's a fantastic tool, and then it doesn't matter what device that you're on, everything's going to be really easy for you to reference later. And just use YouTube, go in and do a search on getting started with Evernote or something like that, and you'll see a ton of stuff that will get you pointed in the right direction of how to use it. So it's a really cool tool. Okay, so the next step is really simple. We want to give you a whole bunch of resources to get you started. So we want to give you a free USA Sports Scholarship Guide. We want to give you a really comprehensive checklist to work to, and then give you a worksheet that allows you or helps you build a short list of colleges that start to meet the criteria that you've developed around what it is that you're looking from a lifestyle perspective and an academic and sporting perspective. So we'll give you the worksheet to allow you to keep all of that information collated. And then you can just basically change your shortlist and refine your shortlist over time as different colleges come up onto your radar during the research process. So the rest of the video series is about digging deep into these key points. So when you click on the website down in the description box below, you can go and drop your email in. We'll send you emails so that you get all of these videos in sequence, and it just makes it easier to consume and builds a process for you. So yeah, click in the link below, drop in your email address once you get to that link, and we'll give you instant access to the free USA Sports Scholarship Guide, the Sports Scholarship Checklist, and the university work list or shortlist worksheet. So yeah, I look forward to catching up with you in future videos.